It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all.
Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, it's some freak off. And the Beyonce. How on the cocaine?
Well, it turns out Katt Williams is working with the feds to catch Diddy, and he has even allegedly secured tapes of A-listers like Beyonce and Jay Z partying with Diddy. Now, we know for sure Diddy's problems aren't going away anytime soon, but it looks like he might have many partners in crime to face the battle together because the tapes that investigators have secured from Diddy's homes are very nasty. In fact, some of the celebrities in those tapes are so embarrassed about being linked with Diddy right now that they have volunteered to work with the feds in exchange for their names being dropped from the lawsuit. Seems like Diddy's downfall is inevitable at this point because when everyone on the tape starts to spill, it's game over. But is Katt Williams really helping the feds secure evidence that can put Diddy behind bars? And did Jay Z and Beyonce really show up on the tapes? Let's break it down. Earlier this year, Katt Williams told y'all that all the deviants in the industry are getting exposed in 2024, and you gotta hand it to him because that man has been standing on business. Allegedly, he has started working with the feds to get enough evidence to catch Diddy. Now, it's not surprising that we're hearing this about Katt. I mean, he has been calling out Diddy for a long time, and in his infamous Club Shay Shay interview, he talked about how Diddy's parties are not where you want to be if you care about your integrity and don't want to get bent over for some cash. He also said he had to walk away from many huge deals because he didn't want to find himself in that situation, and he had the receipts to prove it.
Now, I've had to turn down $50 million 4 times. 4 times. Just to protect my integrity and that virgin hole I was telling you about. Right. Because P. Diddy be wanting to party. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no. I did. I did. See, I got the receipts for everything I'm telling you. That's why I can say them so freely.
Kid, I need another one. You here, get your number.
Thank you, sir.
But the thing about Diddy is that much like R. Kelly and others who have been exposed in the past, it's not enough to just do some of these depraved acts. Oh no, they must record them and save those recordings as some sort of sick souvenirs. Or in Diddy's case, they record others as protection. As y'all know, investigators at the raids on Diddy's homes were looking for anything that could corroborate what they already had in their investigation into Diddy. Sources say Diddy had hundreds of cameras at his house that could have captured some of the nasty things he's been accused of doing. As y'all might know by now, investigators carted boxes and boxes containing electronics, gadgets, and so on. Allegedly, federal agents had warrants to seize firearms, video footage of phones, computers, drives, and CCTV before any of it could be destroyed. And we know these tapes might exist because Diddy has been accused of recording his freak-off sessions in the different civil lawsuits that have been brought against Diddy. Cassie claimed in her lawsuit that Diddy used to record their freak-off sessions without her consent, and even when she tried to delete them, he would still find ways to retrieve them and make her watch them. Lil Rod also claimed Diddy used to record his shenanigans. 50 Cent actually said he's sure the information on those tapes will be crazy, and he'll pay top dollar for them. In a post, 50 shared a news clip from Lil Rod's lawsuit saying, Mr. Combs had hidden cameras in every room of his home, has recordings of several celebrities, artists, music label executives, and athletes engaging in illegal activity. These individuals were recorded without their knowledge and consent. Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person who has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Then he added the caption, shaking my head, this is gonna be so good. What you wanna bet I'ma get these tapes? I'll pay top dollar for them. You've been over there? I don't go to puffy parties. This brings us to the people in Diddy's inner circles who should actually be afraid of what the feds might find on those tapes. First off, we have Jay Z and Beyonce, who have been part of Diddy's inner circles for years. Recently, rapper Boozy made a video talking about how it's shocking that none of Diddy's friends have come out to support him since his troubles started. And immediately, all eyes went to Jay Z. Because of all the people who used to attend Diddy's parties, Jay Z seemed closest to him. Diddy himself said the only 2 people allowed to call him by his government name, Sean, are his mother and Jay Z.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside
should be,
of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
That alone tells you their friendship runs as deep as you can imagine. Then there's the fact that Jay Z is a known attendee of Diddy's parties and has been for years alongside Beyonce. Diddy has, in turn, attended every Roc Nation party as far as we know. So it was odd that Jay suddenly decided to cancel this year's shindig, and most people felt it was because he wanted to avoid all the bad press that might come from him being seen in public with Diddy. I mean, professionals are out here saying Diddy might not be able to avoid criminal liability. Just imagine the PR mess it would be if Jay Z were caught hanging out with someone who might be facing the same fate as R. Kelly. Well, it might be too late for Jay Z and Beyonce to clean up their mess because allegedly the feds already have tapes of them at Diddy's freak-off parties. Jaguar Wright said as much when she went live recently.
Diddy done turned over tapes. Allegedly, with the Carters, it's some freak off. And the Beyonce. High on the cocaine. And the tapes had jizz all over it. Hold on.
Then there's Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher and Diddy have been friends for decades now, and here's Ashton talking about his friendship with Diddy.
Diddy party stories, they're our favorite genre of anecdote, if you have one, yeah.
Wow, okay, I've got a lot I can't tell. So, can't tell that one either. I mean, I'm like actually cycling through them. There was one moment, so it's not really a party story, but our relationship was really bizarre. So it started over punked, because he was like, yo,
don't punk
you
me.
can't punk me. And I was like, I don't want to tell you, everybody's on the table. He's like, not me, I'm off the table.
Notice how he literally had to sift through his memories to find a story about him and Diddy that he could tell the public? Well, a lot of people believe that the reason is that Ashton and Diddy have been involved in lots of shady things together in the past. Ashton and Diddy have been close both personally and professionally over the years. They both worked on MTV while Diddy was making the band and Ashton was on Punk'd. They've also supported each other publicly several times. For example, Ashton was there when Diddy launched his Unforgivable fragrance back in 2007 in New York. He also attended Diddy's infamous White Party in 2009. In 2010, when Time magazine named Ashton Kutcher as one of the most influential people, Diddy offered this heartwarming quote, "Kutcher is a sounding board for me. Like me, he's a mogul, a new media mogul. But we are yin and yang. I am in your face, but he is understated, cool, suave." Now, this Ashton Kutcher angle is particularly important because this is not his first time being linked to a predator. In 2023, Ashton's co-star from That 70s Show, Danny Masterson, was tried on 3 counts of SA and later found guilty on 2 counts and sentenced to 30 years to life. In the middle of the trial, Ashton Kutcher and his wife, Mila Kunis, decided to write support letters to the judge in favor of Danny Masterson, but people were not here for it. They started dragging Ashton and his wife through the mud because how do you have an organization for supporting child victims of SA and you're writing a letter in support of a convicted offender? Ashton eventually had to resign from his role at the charity. Then he and his wife posted this wobbly apology on Instagram, where it's so obvious they're just reciting something their PR team wrote.
We are aware of the pain that has been caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years, so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read, and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
Allegedly, that's why Ashton has not come out in support of Diddy yet. Also, an insider told the Daily Mail that Ashton Kutcher is expecting a subpoena in relation to the investigation into Diddy. The insider said, "There is no way in hell Ashton or Mila will be showing any sort of public support for Diddy right now." Regardless of Ashton's long history with him, he has distanced himself from Diddy since Cassie's lawsuit, and even more so in the wake of the new ones. Mila will not let Ashton be in any sort of contact. He is expecting a subpoena, as they have been good friends for 20 years. From the Lil Rod lawsuit, we got that another person who might be implicated by the tapes seized from Diddy is Cuba Gooding Jr. According to court documents, Diddy allegedly tried to pass off Lil Rod to Cuba Gooding Jr. while they were on Diddy's yacht. He attached several photos as evidence, and in one of them, you can see Lil Rod and Cuba Gooding kind of sitting intimately. Now, Cuba Gooding Jr. has faced SA charges in the past and even had to do court-ordered therapy and probation, so it's very likely Diddy has a recording of him doing some weird things. Katt Williams is not the only person currently working with the feds to catch Diddy. We've recently gotten reports that Cassie Ventura is also working with the feds in their investigation into Diddy. A source told US Weekly that Cassie finally feels like she isn't alone. Cassie has seen the worst of Diddy, and he has put her through the most traumatic abuse. She isn't able to speak about the things she has seen during their relationship, but it was very dark. There were also reports that former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia Habtemariam, had volunteered to testify against Diddy in exchange for her name being dropped from Lil Rod's lawsuit. However, she refuted the claim in a statement saying, "I have no personal knowledge of any alleged wrongdoing by Mr. Combs, and there is nothing I could testify to that would be against his interest. In short, there is no basis for any of the claims asserted against me, and I should never have been named a defendant in this lawsuit." But even though Habtemariam is not willing to testify, there are still others who are already lined up to testify against Diddy. According to NBC, 3 women and a man have been interviewed by federal officials in Manhattan in relation to allegations of trafficking, assault, and the solicitation and distribution of illegal narcotics and firearms. Interviews with 3 other subjects are also scheduled. Well, it looks like whatever Katt and the others are doing to help the feds, it's working, because although Diddy has not been arrested yet, experts believe an arrest is not too far away. According to Nadia Shehata, who was one of the prosecutors in R. Kelly's case, the feds clearly have probable cause to believe that a federal crime has been committed and that evidence of that crime or multiple crimes would be found in the 2 locations they searched. This is big news, and if I'm P. Diddy or his lawyers, I'd be very concerned at this point. Anyway, fans have been leaving comments online about this Diddy situation. I bet there's a lot of associates of Duddy's who aren't sleeping so soundly of late, and it's going to get a whole lot worse. What's the phrase? Show me the company you keep and I will tell you who you are. Those who went to the exclusive after party more than once have a lot to answer. Those are the individuals who knows more. But now I want to know what y'all think about so many of Diddy's supposed friends working with the feds to expose him. Comment down below and then check out this next video.